Hey everyone, and welcome back to Too Ambitious. I'm so happy that you all are here. Thank you so much for joining me wherever you may be joining me from. I'm very grateful for everyone who tunes in every week. And don't forget, every Thursday, right here on LinkedIn or YouTube, wherever you're watching at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Now, if this is your first time joining the show, let me tell you, this is a show that celebrates Black women and women of color founders who are changing the game, who are innovators, who are creatives, who are disruptors, and we celebrate them right here. So today, I'm super happy to have another amazing woman founder on our show. Let me tell you more about her. So today I have Hitomi Aihara here, and she is amazing. She is the founder of Umi Goods. Now, you're probably like, what's Umi Goods? Well, let me tell you all about it. So this company it's a kind of a quirky brand, but she creates unique ocean-inspired goodies for your daily vibes. Now, Hitomi is a former marine biologist who was a full-time producer at BuzzFeed and Patreon. Now, she's a self-proclaimed ocean lover. She was unemployed and leaned into her creativity to launch a successful business by leveraging social media and Etsy. So, Umi Goods has almost 60,000 followers on Instagram who are always ready to purchase Hitomi's next drop on Etsy. Can you believe it? Yes, I know, I can. So please welcome Hitomi to our show. Hi, Hitomi.
Woohoo. Hello. Hi, Trish. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm so happy that you're here.
Me.
This conversation is a long time coming.
hmm Long
You
time
know,
coming.
long time coming. You
We used
know,
to be desk buddies. That was
we
like
used to be
the
Dex
start.
buddies. Yeah, I know. So we go way back. So full disclosure, Hitomi and I used to work at BuzzFeed together. Yes, which used to be the center of social media, world, for a long time,
Mhm.
So we used to create content for what was it? Tasty and Nifty.
Nifty, Goodful. Yeah.
Goodful. Yes, yes. So
You
yeah.
managed me, and it was amazing. I loved you as a manager. So it
Oh
was
my
so fun
God.
working with you.
Well, thank you. And guys, I did not pay her to say any of that. I did
I
not.
wanted because Trish is
Well,
awesome.
yeah. Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I had to have you on the show because, I know we've known each other for a little bit, but what you've been able to achieve in the last year and a half is really extraordinary. And I've been following your journey, and I want to say, first of all, congratulations on the success of Umi Goods.
Thank you.
A year and a half into business, over 60K followers on Instagram. Tell me, did you ever imagine that this was possible when you first started out?
No, I mean, it was I didn't expect the following and that kind of thing. Going back to what we used to do at BuzzFeed and stuff,
Yeah,
that was very
yeah,
helpful, but it was truly just like a hobby, passion, and
yep,
then a push that came later on due to
yeah,
things happening. But
yes.
yeah, I'm very fortunate. I feel lucky every day that I just get to play with mud. Like that's
Oh,
so fun for me.
literally play with mud,
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little about Umi Goods. So for people who have no idea, how would you describe in your own words Umi Goods?
Umi Goods is pretty much it's my brand, and I'm currently only selling ceramic goods, and
Mhm.
it is all just ocean inspired functional goods. But I mean, I would like to have other products outside of
Okay.
ceramics eventually down the line. And I think what I try to do through my social media once in a while is, my love for the ocean. So anything I create, I want to give a fun factoid to it or connect with that kind of audience that also are interested.
Right.
And I think there's so many of us that are just curious and it kind of keeps me going. And it's such a the ocean's such a great inspiration. So for me, I just get to make goods and that's what I love to do every day.
Yeah. Well, I think, you're one of the few who get to do something that you are passionate about and share that with the world, you know? And I know all your goods are ocean inspired. How did you develop your love for the ocean? Because you know you also surf too. You're always doing something with the ocean, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm a Californian through and through. Born and raised here. I'm fortunate that, my parents were both ocean people as well. They're from
Yeah.
Japan, and Japan's technically an island. So my parents always took us to the beach growing up every Sunday, and I was a typical 90s kid growing up with Flipper and Free Willy. And once I watched those movies, I was like set to be like, I want to work with those kind of animals.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just pretty much ever since I was a kid, I was like, that's what I want to do. I'm going to learn marine biology. And then once I got into school, then that kind of opened up so much more. And then from that, pretty much, yeah, like I feel like, I mean, I stayed in California all my life, but going all the way to Northern California, it's like different scene, so many different animals you learn about, algae you learn about, and it just like it's forever. It continues forever. So I'm
Yeah.
always going to be a learner, but
Yeah.
it's yeah, and I love it. And umi also is ocean for in Japanese, so that's kind of my throwback on my Japanese side. And then yeah, I've always been also a crafter, so it kind of works.
Yeah.
It all came together, you know.
Yes, it all did come together. And, you know, listen, you are so talented. I think I've always told you you're like one of the most talented women I've ever met in my life.
Thank
You
you.
know, just so you all know out there, she literally can do anything, you know. So, and I'm always like, how did you? Oh, I just taught myself. What? You know, it's just so amazing. So
Yeah.
I think it's just beautiful what you've created.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about how you got started because you were a producer, you
Mhm.
know, before.
Yes.
And I mean, you're once a producer, always a producer. But what changed? How did you sort of get into Umi Goods and creating ceramics when you were a producer? You know?
Yeah. Well, it was during COVID, and I think like many, many of us, I found my COVID hobby, which was pottery. And
Nice.
after taking a few classes, having that remote work life really kind of helped me be like, ooh, what other things can I do that is allowed in the time of like the uncertainty of COVID?
Yeah.
So it kind of was, from producer to ceramics was just like a part-time fun thing. And then
Right.
along the way, like I I've been through a couple layoffs, and I think by that time, before my second layoff, I was just like, you know what? I need to save a certain amount, put it aside. So if I got laid off next time, I'm just going to go in full 100%. And I remember giving myself almost 6 months to plan this out to be like, okay, if I start now and if I put
Right.
this much away, I will be able to at least do this for a year and test out
Right.
pottery for a year to see if that's something I want to do. But I think it was literally the next month I got laid off, and I was like, I guess I got to start now. So I got like thrown into it, and I decided, I was like, while looking for other jobs, I was
Right.
like, well, I could try. It doesn't hurt. And then one thing led to the other. And then here I am today, just working in my garage and playing with mud every day. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think you spoke that into the universe, right? And it just showed up, which
yeah.
is it's totally incredible. You know, what I find fascinating also when you say that you play with mud, which is hilarious. Um, did you have you done ceramics before you took that class, or you took the
Not
class and you were like, I'm in love?
That was the main feeling. I mean, I think I played with clay, when I was a child, those
Right,
like daytime activities you could do, but not like a intensive like, okay, we're doing a 6-week course. You're really going to learn the ins
right.
and outs of ceramics.
Yeah.
So it really was this like it's more of like a meditative, humbling thing for me, and I think if you ask a lot of potters, they'll say the same thing,
Yeah.
just because you have to be very in the moment, understand like the timing. And it is in a
Right.
sense structured, which, being a producer, you're constantly managing project timelines, all these things.
Right.
And it kind of is applicable to, I think, potters. Like we're constantly looking at what's the level of this clay piece, like how much time do I have before I have to do the next step? How do I plan for the next drop? Like all these planning is something I feel like I've gotten really good at being a producer. So it did help for sure in my advantage of that way. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you pulling on those, previous skills really help, you know? Talk a little about those early days, So you take the ceramics class, you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna start this business." How did
Mhm.
you structure your business? Did you have any structure in the beginning, or you were just like, "I'm just gonna make some stuff," you know?
Yeah, no structure whatsoever. I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest. But I feel like a lot of times, and what I say is only applying to me. There's so many ways to, I think, do pottery, but you have the option of either selling at markets in person or doing it online.
Okay.
And I think I have done a market once, I have done wholesale, but it's so much, I think, easier to kind of reach out to the people all around. And luckily,
Right.
like I have a lot of international customers as well. So in that case, I was like, okay, online e-commerce is like probably the best way to go. And so to do that and how to keep it growing or keep it sustainable,
Right.
what do I have to do? So my monthly drops are definitely something I like plan out months in advance. And I kind of do that by, being realistic and being like, how much do I need to make in a month to survive? So
Okay.
it's very much the freelancer idea, I feel like.
Right,
It's like
right,
the more I hustle, the more I get paid, then I could do this. And with pottery, I'm just like, okay, with in 1 month, how much can I make and how much of that can I sell? And will that be enough to provide for another month? Um, which I don't think is the best business strategy because I'm living
really?
month to month. And it's like, if
Ah,
something happens, do I have that safety net? So
right.
um, I feel like every month I've again been fortunate to sell out and I kind of learn from that to be like how much do I need in my, savings account in case
Right,
something happens. Like I got a
right.
new puppy and he's still going through all these vet hospital stuff that I'm just like, oh my God, I
Yeah,
need to pay so much money for this. Or I
right.
just had a recent dental surgery that was not, planned. So I was just like, okay, like this means I have to work harder.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's, I think, also that fine line of then burning out, all that kind of thing. But it's a balance act and I'm still trying to figure it out. But I think my end of the day thing is like, if I'm having a fun, good time and I'm
Yeah.
able to live this life, like I'm going to continue to do it. So.
Yeah, I love that. That I find that very inspiring because I think that myself and probably so many other people out there who are always looking for something that lights them up and can generate income at the same time. And you
Mhm.
seem to have been able to do both. Listen, kudos to you to that. I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
Talk a little about, these drops. So you talk about the drops that you do and you have it scheduled out to a certain time, but why not provide product all the time? How did you decide between the drops and providing product all the time?
Yes. I think this when you're making handcrafted things, it's very labor intensive. Like a cup might I think as consumers, we're just so used to being able to go to any store and pick up a mug that's like $5, right? Oh,
Right.
yeah, thank you. And for a lot of the things that I sell, like I do put so much love and labor into it, and it
Yeah.
does take a couple of weeks to finish one thing. Um, Granted, I'm repeating that 30 times or so. So,
Okay.
I just kind of it I think there's the time thing, as well as
Okay.
packaging, because I
Right.
do pack all of my things, I ship all of my things. It's not like I have third party doing any of that stuff. So
Wow.
just for my time's sake, if I create an amount that adds up to my monthly goal, then it's like,
Mhm.
okay, this is then when I could do it. And also, I can't, I feel like it's not fair for my audience to want to buy something, but if it comes out of the kiln broken, then, both of
Yeah.
our hearts are shattered. So it's just like, let me wait until it actually is ready to go before I announce anything. Cause I do share so much of my process, but like 30% of that sometimes just like it's not perfect. And I know it's like a crack here, a flaw there, but I think any person that makes something, it's like you go in with a vision, and I'm just like, I want it to come out better than I thought,
Right.
which I'm trying to be better about it, but you know, I like to be hard on myself.
Yeah, of course, and I mean, it's a labor of love as well,
Mhm. Yeah.
something that you're very passionate about as well,
Mhm.
so I'm looking at a lot of your crafts here, talk a little about this Instagram, like, what was the plan? Did you have a creative strategy for Instagram going into this? Which came
Uh,
first?
is there I mean, Trish, we worked at BuzzFeed, which was
Yeah,
like, I think that helped a lot
yeah,
because we go in with the mindset of here's our strategy. Like, we
right,
should have these content buckets.
right,
We should post at this time, at this day, this many hashtag, this. Like, and I
right,
think that is very helpful that it like lives in the back of my head at all times.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yes, I have a notebook full of like strategy. Like, this is my plan, this is my plan.
yes,
But
yes,
in reality, like, it's a one man job. I need to focus my energy on where it matters. And I feel like for me, the product is the most important thing. Like, my
yeah,
art is the most important thing.
right,
So I'm using Instagram more as just like my free marketing space. I could
nice.
share what I make, how I make it sometimes.
Mhm.
And I want to be consistent enough, but at the same time, not pressure myself too much. Just because then it becomes I feel like I get too a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So and I think it's been working out. Like, I look at my page not as like a creator, me showing what I feel and think about
Right,
certain things. It's more of
right,
like, this is my art first page. Like,
right,
I just want to share you my art. A little bit about me will come once in a blue moon.
right.
But I do think about it once in a while because, the creator space is so big.
It
It's growing
is.
so much. I do love still reading about it and understanding, how the economy works in the digital space. It isn't
Yeah,
really important in that matter, but I do I do want to just continue to share what I like. And
yeah,
then maybe down the line I'll start a YouTube channel or be change platform specific to,
right,
be more catering to what that niche audience is. But
right.
right now, this is all I could do. So
Yeah, I mean, and you're just one person, right?
yeah, just one
Yeah,
person. And I have a
just one
studio
person.
manager that's my puppy, but he's more like, take breaks. And I'm like, okay.
Right, come play with
So
me,
yeah, yeah.
I completely get that, what I'm interested to learn too is how long does it take you to create a drop or a collection, and then in terms of, like, the timing, do you almost always sell out of that collection?
Yes. So my drops, I try to give myself a month and a half. Like 3 weeks is usually how long it'll take me to make a good amount of things. But I want to
Yeah,
also give myself a wiggle room
yeah,
to also make things that I still want to. Like, I have 3 notebooks now that are just
right,
full of ideas. And I'm like, one day I'll do this. Like, I tell my friends all the time, I'm like, what about
right,
this with this and this? And
yeah,
keeping up with the production side of things, I'm just like, okay, I'll give myself 3 weeks to make what I know will sell that
right,
a lot of people are asking for, DMing me about. And then I give myself like a week or two just making what I want to.
right,
And then another thing I started adding into my, I guess, workflow
Mhm.
besides the monthly drops is to maybe do like bi-monthly drops, and then the other month I'll auction do a I hold an auction, and for those auctions it's truly like I'll come up with a series or a collection. Um
Okay.
and it's literally like pages of like, "Ooh, this is what I want to make," and then bring out the marketing strategy side and be like, "Oh, I could call this a blah blah blah," and then I'll just make a series on that. And then because those are like one of a kind one-offs that I probably won't touch for another year or so, it, you know, it has more value that way. But also like it just I want to be also very truthful to my audience to be like, I truly will only make this because it like came into my mind, and then I'll touch it again one day. But for now, this is what I want to share with you guys, kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that strategy because it sounds like too you've built like such a great community as well, so you're getting feedback from your community, right? Or your
Mhm.
customers as well. So how does that play
Yeah.
into like what you create for them?
Uh, yeah, it's interesting how like I think we as makers we get a lot of us will, something goes viral and we're like, "Oh, we have to make hundreds of that." And then
Yeah.
that's all we end up making, and
Right.
that's who your brand becomes.
Yes.
And I've seen so many other creators go that route, and I think a lot of them who have burnout have shared their stories of being like, "Oh, I might stop for a little bit because I want to do that." And I think looking back at those stories has helped me kind of be like, I will still make what a lot of people ask for, but I also want to continue to create other things
Right. And
because
evolve, obviously.
yeah, yeah. And I think too, like my audiences are so kind and so supportive, and they'll message me to say, like, thank you so much, keep creating, keep doing
Yeah.
your thing. And that is such like a working by yourself, you're just like, I'm literally in my garage, like, meh, 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 like doing that all day. So
Yeah.
it is nice to get messages of like encouragement, and then also kind of going back to the auction thing is like, so it's so hard. I think when I started, I was like, how do I price my pieces? Like that's
Yeah.
I think one of the hardest things because again, like I think we're constantly competing with production stuff that you could find at Target or, all these other
Right.
stores that don't
Right.
have anything besides it's made in a you know,
A
production
factory or
warehouse or something.
something.
So
Yeah.
on that note, I was just like, I don't know how to price my things correctly. I don't know what the value is of my art. And that was
Mhm.
something I struggled with for a good year or so. And then I think this year was the first time that I was like, okay, I feel more confident about my value as an artist.
Right.
And then throwing these auctions also helped because, it's not like I'm not money hungry or anything. I just want to see like I only have one, so this is the best way I could do it.
Right.
But also it kind of shows me I look on the back end of the auction and I see what people bid on. So I'm looking at the numbers to be like, oh,
Oh,
like so many people have said they're willing to pay this much for it. And then that kind of gives me the like okay to be like, okay, so it is okay that I'm then selling a cup for $100. And,
right.
I don't feel as bad putting something out there because it is expensive. Like I do
Yeah.
understand that art is pricey,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
also am like, but I have to eat, so there's that too, you
You
know?
gotta eat, you gotta keep the lights on, you gotta run the ceramic, the flame, all the stuff that you're doing. I mean, I'm seeing that you there in your workshop and everything like that. I mean, yeah, and it's all of that costs, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what does, like, your overhead look like? And, just kind of from a business standpoint to
Mhm.
keep the shop running, all the supplies and the paint and the furnace and all the things that you're doing, that's gotta be a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like I have a good math system down now where it's like
Yeah.
once I get and that's the helpful thing about the monthly drop for me. Working in corporate, you're used to getting a bi-weekly paycheck. Like
Right.
we already go in knowing like this month I'll make this much money, and that's how I
Right.
divvy things up. And I
Right.
think for the long I've been that way for so long that when I first started, I was like, oh, I don't have a paycheck coming next week. And you just like start questioning everything. And I'm like, oh God, what do I do? So I think
Yeah.
that going back to that monthly thing is like also a way for me to know it's like, okay, at least I know this month I'll have 2 grand to do this and that, or,
Right.
however
Right.
much more. So it
Uh,
kind of helps that.
yeah, I love that. And I mean, you also said that you have like a great international audience as well, which is super exciting. You're global, this is amazing.
So great.
What are some of those countries that are loving your products?
I've had customers from Australia, Canada, Mexico, UK, different parts of Europe. I had one from Ireland, um,
Wow.
and from Hong Kong. So like so many places. It's so
Oh,
nice. It's crazy. I'm always like, what? Someone over there wants to buy my things?
oh my God.
Yeah.
Must be such a great feeling. I love it. I absolutely love it. What
Thank you.
is your biggest challenge with your business right now, Hitomi?
Mm. I mean, I think my constant challenge is sustain su- sus- thinking about how I could sustain this
Yeah.
for another month. um, and I feel like that is such a vague, like generalized thing to say,
No,
but
it's not. I feel
yeah,
like most entrepreneurs will give you the same answer.
yeah, yeah,
Especially if you haven't reached like a certain point where you're making millions and millions of
mhm,
dollars yet,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so you're not alone. So that's okay.
Okay. Okay, good. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's my main challenge, just making sure it's like, what can I do? But I guess the other challenge is managing my time better with like the whole work-life balance,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because I'm so passionate about what I do, I will happily do this for like a month straight without any days off.
Yeah.
And I do understand that's not healthy. 'Cause
Yeah.
time off is important. It is important for, finding new inspiration or
Exactly.
giving yourself a beat to, like, check in at what
Surf.
you've done.
Yeah.
Go surf. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to do that more to be like, give myself a weekend. So this weekend, I will take a weekend off. So
Nice.
but
Nice.
it's so
As you
hard
should.
it's so hard when
I
I'm like, "But I have so many things to make."
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah.
I am exactly how you feel, and I'm sure you will find other entrepreneurs who feel the same. So,
Okay, good.
you are not alone,
Yeah.
What is your biggest dream for Umi Goods? Like,
Mm.
what are you thinking? Do you have like a, "Hey, here's my 5-year plan, 10-year plan," or anything like that?
Yes and no. I have like my if I win the lotto plan.
Okay. Let's hear
That dream
that.
yeah,
Let's
oh
hear
my
that, because I mean, that's
god.
always a thing, you
Yeah,
know?
if that was a thing, I would love to have my own little not just a garage studio. I want like an actual art studio, where I could have, people come in, I could teach classes.
Yeah.
I would love to do a retreat, like a
Ooh.
7-day, 1 week retreat for potters. I've been seeing it a lot more
Nice.
now.
Really?
There's one in Italy that I'm like, "Oh my god, I wanna do that." But, just do, like, one where again, we live being in California, there's
Yeah,
so many
California.
beautiful things to do and see and that kinda stuff,
Right.
so I would love to have, like, a small group of people come, whether it's, like, ideation processes and that kinda thing or, like,
Yeah,
completely, "I'm brand new to this, I wanna learn how to
right.
make a bowl," like,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, so that would be so fun, but that's like I need a gigantic home to do that, so
Right.
that's a lot of dream, but I think, the 5-year plan, I hope I could just be a little bit more better about balancing my day-to-day, not
Right.
overdoing it, and just being able to continue to do this. Like, I
Yeah,
feel like I'm on year 2 and I have done a lot better than last year,
yeah,
but I'm just like, is this the most I could do? Like, I want to do more. So,
yeah.
yeah, I guess planning out the next 5 years is my immediate plan, but
Yeah.
when I have time.
When you have time, exactly. No, I think that's a very realistic plan, and, I think that especially when you're creative and you're building, I mean, yeah, all you can do is kinda think about, like, how to make the process easier, how to make time for yourself, and that's you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, right?
Oh,
So,
thank
just keep going is all I can
you.
say. Just keep
Thanks.
going, you know? Um in terms of, Umi Goods, you're almost at 60,000 on, Instagram. Are you thinking like, "Hey, I wanna get to 100K, like, I wanna really blow this up." Like, how much is the Instagram playing a role in how you, like, keep going, because it's pretty dope, you tell me, you gotta
No,
admit
thank
that.
you. I
Yeah.
know, it's and I do feel, again, very lucky because I do think one of my videos just it went viral for
Ooh,
a
which
reason I didn't it was, like, from a long time ago,
okay.
and it got over 1,000,000 views, and I do feel like that's what got my social media following growing
Okay.
more
Okay.
consistent,
Yeah.
but it's so hard because it's not like I'm making any money on Instagram posting stuff, like,
Right.
I'm not again, I'm not a creator that gets paid with follower count.
Right.
Um, it's I don't do any sponsorships, although, hey, like, I'm open to them. But I feel like as a brand, someone, again, like
Yeah.
working at BuzzFeed, we learn all these things, but
Yeah.
what can I like? I'm not influencing anybody to do anything. All I'm
Right.
doing is sharing my work. So the growth is very helpful to have
Right.
a customer base or some sort of interest.
Right.
Um, but I also feel bad because I can't keep up with the demand. And,
Oh.
I have so many people messaging me being bummed out about how they couldn't get their hands on something.
Ah.
And I'm just like, "I'm still making more, don't worry." Like, and so in that for that reason, like, yeah, 100K sounds great, but I just hope that, the following is more just so, like, that they're interested in what I continue to make,
Right. Right.
and,
It's a marketing
maybe one
tool. You're
day.
marketing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's marketing, and there's not a lot of plan behind my marketing sometimes, and I'm kind of like, "Oh, no, I need to do better." But
Yeah.
then again, like, yeah, how much time do I allocate to social media,
Right.
and, how much time do I want to put towards pottery and balancing that out, all that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great, but I hope to keep on growing. I'm open
I'm
for
sure
tips,
you
but
will, I so tell me a little bit about, like, if someone wants your products, they wanna order Umi Goods, like,
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about that process. Should they go to your Instagram? Where should they start if they want to know all about the next drop?
Yes. I'm most active on Instagram.
Okay.
I love consuming TikTok, but I'm not the best at doing stuff
Right.
on TikTok.
Right.
So, Instagram's my go-to place
Okay.
for people to hear about when I have drop announcements.
Right.
I'll post like what time,
Nice.
where the link is. It's always going to be in my bio.
Love it.
And what day, that kind of thing. And
Mhm.
again, I'm fortunate that things do sell out very, very fast, on Etsy, and
Yeah.
so it's first come, first serve slash
Okay.
lottery. Like, that's
Oh my
kind of what it
gosh.
ends up being, which I
Yeah.
know is very stressful for everybody, and I'm so sorry, but I think this is, like, my only option I could do because
Yeah.
I thought about pre-orders, but it's the same thing.
Right.
It always ends up being first come, first serve, so
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. I mean, and I think people don't mind. I mean, I think they have to sort of wait a little bit for great art. That's kind of how it goes. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you're fine. I think you're fine. So
Okay.
awesome. Well, I know. Well, thank you so much, Hitomi. I appreciate you
Thank
taking the
you.
time to have this conversation with me and share more about Umi Goods. And
Thanks.
once again, congratulations. And I hope that your dream continues to flourish in the way that you want. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That means so much coming from you. I feel like,
Yeah.
I've learned so much from you, honestly, when it
Yeah.
came to, like, all the how to do this and that kind of stuff, how to follow yourself, these things. So, you've been very helpful with this process as well. So thank you so much.
Well, you are so welcome. And, I'm going to continue following you. And
Mhm.
every time I see an announcement for your drop, I am already late. I'm
No.
already late. I have yet, that's how popular she is, everyone,
Oh.
is that I literally get to it and she's like, oh, yeah, it's sold out. I'm like, but it just went up. You know? So, yeah. And I know you. So,
No.
I'm going to get one, you
I know.
know?
I'll do a friends and family one eventually. Like,
Ooh,
I have
okay.
to, and that's the thing. Like, I used to work at Patreon, so I'm just like, I need to figure out Patreon or something where I could figure out how to have like
Yeah.
certain access points. But yeah, I'll figure that
Yeah.
out next month.
That's a next quarter or next year
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally get that.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks again for being on Too Ambitious, Hitomi. You can find Hitomi on Instagram, at Umi Goods. You can purchase her cute little ocean creatures. They're so adorable. And support women-owned business, support
Yeah.
women of color businesses, because we know how important that is, to support communities, and support artists such as Hitomi. So, you know, um, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time.